Good morning, students. So today I'm going to start with chapter number 12, that is consumer education and protection. So basically what we are going to read in this chapter are, as you can see in the learning objectives, that to understand the importance and role of consumer education and protection, to explain the basic concepts related to consumer education and protection, analyze the knowledge and skills needed for a career in this field, and to understand the scopes and career options. So let's quickly move on to the main part of this, that is what do you understand by this consumer education and protection. What do we understand by this consumer education and protection? So consumer education means, like suppose if you have gone to the market to buy some articles or any kind of goods, so what you are going to do, you are going to follow some rules on there, that what I am going to buy, or to plan something that I am going to buy this one, or this is the good product than it, or you will compare that this one is good than that. Okay, so this is how you are going to this is how the consumers, they do the when they go to buy some goods, they do these things, that whatever they are going to buy, they sometimes they couldn't take the decision that whether this thing will be good or that. Sometimes they haven't got that kind of knowledge that how can I buy something with proper proper education or through proper knowledge, which helps the consumer to deal with these things. So that is what we are going to learn here, that how and what are the problems also which are faced by the consumers when they are out in the market. So this is also what we are going to learn here. So now, why this protection is given, that consumer education and protection. So protection is given because the consumers, they need to be protected somehow in order to in order to lead a healthy life. Because if I have suppose I am going to the market to buy something and I have buy a wrong product, suppose it has crossed the expiry date, okay, but I didn't follow that, I took it, and then I have eaten it, and I have some kind of constipation or diarrheal diseases. This has happened to me. So that has happened to me because of this what to say, because of this lack of the knowledge or lack of experience, that how to buy or what are the things which are to be seen before buying something. So this is what are the things that we are going to learn here, that what are the significances of consumer education and protection. So now in here you can see India has been transforming from an underdeveloped to a developing country economy. Okay, much of this can be attributed to industrialization and globalization. These economic changes have improved the standard of living along with the increased buying power. So we are living in a global village economy, global village, and facing the challenges of global markets. The march towards global economy necessitates a global outlook on the part of consumers who cannot sit back and watch. So further, the Indian government has become liberal and opened the doors to foreign companies. Thus we can see a variety of products made by multinationals that have established their manufacturing or assembly units in India, or imported items on the shelves of many stores. So this has advantages, but at the same time there are disadvantages. On the positive side of the Indian consumer has much to choose from and can look for better products with competitive pricing. So basically what they are saying, that as there's a huge rise in different kind of multinational companies and also the national companies. So with the rise of the thing, the rate of consuming or the rate of buying has also been increased. So because of that, it has become necessary for today's consumer to be careful, okay, alert, and to be well informed. So consumer education and protection have thus become very important. Okay, here you can see there are several relevant terms that we are going to learn. So consumer product. So the term means any article produced or distributed for sale to a consumer for personal or family use in one's home or in an institution, example school, hospital, college, office, etc., or for business purposes. So the consumer product is that one of any article which is produced or distributed for sale, which is on sale to a consumer, for it may be for personal use or maybe for the family use, family purposes, in any kind of home, anyone's home or any kind of institution, like this one examples are given, like schools, hospitals, college, anywhere. Now, consumer behavior, it is a process through which the buyer makes decision about purchasing. So the consumer behavior is that one. It is a process through which the consumer take the decisions of if suppose he is buying something. So what kind of decisions he or she is going to take. So that is the consumer behavior. Now, consumer forum, a place or organization where consumers can discuss consumer products or services and their advantages and disadvantages. So basically this consumer forum is that one, a platform on where the different as it is said that it might be a place or any kind of organization where the different consumers, they gather around and they discuss among themselves that what are the advantages of this and what are the advantages of disadvantages of any kind of products or services. Now, consumer footfalls. This means the number of consumers who visit any given space, such as a store or a mall. Thus, with increasing consumption in our country, consumer footfalls are higher. So as the in rate of increase, this consumption rate is also increased in our country, so that this consumer footfalls has also been increased. Okay. The consumers going to the different supermarkets or malls, this has also been increased as the demand is increased in our country. So now let's move on to a table. Let's see what is there in the table. These are consumers' expectations. These are as you can see, the consumer expectations. So these are the different expectations which the consumers keep on purchasing goods. Okay, so let's see number one, that is reasonable price. So every consumer expects the price of any kind of goods or whatever thing he or she is buying, that is reasonable. Number two is appropriate or adequate information. So nowadays the consumers have gained lots of knowledge than whatever the scenario was before 30 or 20 years. So now they have got enough knowledge whenever they are going to buy some goods or anything. So they are checking the details or they are looking for the maximum informations. Okay, so appropriate and adequate informations are the thing which the consumers expect nowadays. Number three is genuine goods, articles, services. So every consumer, they demand some genuine goods, articles, and also the services. Okay. Number four is quality products. Quality products, as you all know, that whatever, suppose you are going to a market to buy something, what you will expect? You will expect that whatever thing you are buying, that is of good quality. So quality products is always of expectations of a consumer. Number five is purity of products. So as like the quality of the products, purity is also that whether it is pure or not, whether it is mixed or sometimes the goods or sometimes some foods you buy from the market, they are adulterated. Okay, different food preservatives are mixed with that, which is not allowed for our body, because our body cannot tolerate those preservatives. And also the adulterants, you all know that bhajal, sometimes this thing is mixed with the foods to make it of more quantity. So purity of the products is also a consumer's expectations. Number six is ethics in sales and promotion. So whenever any kind of company, if they are promoting or the salesmen are selling something, so there should be some ethics, that whatever thing they are promoting, whatever advertisements or any kind of things, that should be of proper the information what is to be given to by them with the help of this promotion or advertisement, that should be of legal thing. The information should be right. Okay. So otherwise the consumer, whoever are seeing those advertisement or promotions, they'll be confused, or they can lead to which is wrong way. Okay, wrong path. So the ethics should be maintained in sales and promotion. Last one is the correct weights and measurements. So whenever you are going to a market to buy, suppose any kind of food which is sold in loose quantity, like sugar or dal, these kind of things are sold in loose things. So sometimes the shop, there are various shops on which the shopkeeper, what does he do? He somehow he tries to manipulate this 2 or 3 kgs. Like suppose if 50 kg someone is buying of 50 kg, so he'll try to take off 1 kg or 500 gram from that thing. So that is, the consumer is getting, this is wrong, whatever the shopkeeper is doing. So this should not be done. Okay, so this is also what a consumer expects. Okay, that correct weights and measurement should be there, should be provided by the shop from wherever they are buying something or any kind of goods, wherever. So these are the different consumers' expectations while purchasing goods. Now let's move on to some of the major problems faced by the consumers. Now, what are the problems which are faced by the consumer? Number one, you can see substandard, poor quality goods. So sometimes there are various kind of manufacturers can make the same product, such as large multinational corporations, local Indian manufacturers, and some may be imported from other countries. However, the material used may be different, and the product quality may also vary, making it difficult for a consumer to identify a poor quality product. So many consumers are ignorant about quality standards. So there are many manufacturers who keep the quality very substandard, and sometimes it is also poor quality goods. So this is a problem which is faced by the and this is also a huge problem which is faced by the consumers nowadays. Number two is adulteration, which is also a very important problem which is faced by the consumers. As I have told you earlier, that adulteration may be intentional or unintentional. That is, sometimes in several foods the food preservatives are given to protect the food. That is given on the legal basis, but it is not tolerated by the consumers, whoever are having that. And sometimes it is done intentionally. That is, the whoever is selling that, they somehow do that thing intentionally to make the quality, the quantity much more than what is the pure one. So this is also a very important problem in our in these days. As you can see, adulteration is a serious problem, not only because it is exploitative, but because it can cause harm to health and safety of the consumer. Now, number three is high prices. So every consumer expects that he or she will be charged a fair price for a product. Suppose I have gone to a market to buy something, so I'll expect that the fare should be the price should be fair enough. Okay, not much more than what it expects to be, or not more, not much less than what is the actual price. So there should be a fair price for a product. So this is also a problem. Number four is lack of consumer information. Most consumers are unaware of their rights and responsibilities and do not know the various legislative provisions that have been made to protect them. So the lack of consumer information. So because of the the informations are not provided by the shopkeeper or from whoever you are buying something. So So that's why most consumers are unaware of their rights and responsibilities and do not know various legislative provisions, okay, that have been made to protect them. So there are some informations which is to be given to the consumer, but some consumers, they don't get those things, and that's why the lack of consumers information can lead to the very critical problem for the consumer. Now number 5 is inadequate or erroneous information given by the manufacturer. So this is also a very important problem, that is when so this is also done in several methods. I'll show you. What are the inadequate or erroneous information given by the manufacturer? Like the labels of most products are not factually correct, some are deceptive and misleading. So advertisements are not informative and are limited in their ability to answer many essential questions about qualities or uses of the product. So there is a lack of buying guides on consumer durables and non-durables to aid the consumer in decision making. So packaging is being used as a potent marketing tool. Attractive packages persuades consumers to make impulsive purchases. So these are the different ways in which erroneous informations are given to the consumer by the manufacturers. So we have to be alert in order to get protected by these faulty manufacturers. Okay, so these things we have to be very to be taken care of. Now number 6 is incorrect weights and measures. So this is also a very important point, that sometimes the weight and measures are decreased what the actual is. This is also a problem which is faced by a consumer. Is spurious, duplicate, imitation products. So consumers are confused and cheated by spurious and substandard products, duplicates of well-known brands, some having similar products. So these are the different, there are different products which just changes the name or some alphabets of a brand, and they sell those things, okay, in order to imitate those products. But the quality is very poor, it is of very poor and substandard quality, and this is how different brands, local brands, they cheats the consumers. So we have to be very conscious about this also. Number 8 is sales promotion schemes to entice the consumer. Indian market is flooded with a plethora of products. Companies, national as well as multinationals, are competing with one another to compare larger market share. To do so, they come out with several sales promotion schemes like exchange offers, bonus, lucky draws, etc. Such means of sales promotions are always not always genuine and deceive the consumer. So these are the different sales and promotion schemes which is given to the consumer somehow in order to manipulate that their mind to like or like the product or to promote these things somehow. So this is also not sometimes genuine, but sometimes it is sometimes it genuine, but genuine, but most of the case these are not genuine and try to cheat the consumers in these ways. In order to effectively deal with the onslaught of clever and deceptive markets interests, marketing strategies and other problems, consumers need to be aware and educated about their rights, responsibilities and protection mechanisms. Consumer education and protections are thus tools which empower and equip consumers to protect themselves from adverse market forces. In addition, they help the consumers understand legislations and policy matters which would directly have a bearing on their rights and choices as consumers. So the government of India has accepted, established and enshrined 6 consumer rights under the Consumer Protection Act, that is the CPA 1986. So the government of India has accepted and established and enshrined 6 consumer rights. So you have to please memorize this, that there are 6 consumer rights under the Consumer Protection Act, that is the CPA 1986. So there are 4 basic rights, like number 1, right to safety, number 2 is right to be informed, number 3 is right to choose, number 4 is right to be heard. 2 additional rights are right to redressal and right to education. Okay, so these are the 6 consumer rights, Consumer Protection Act, according to this act, these basic rights are there. So safety means there is all the rights is promoted for the safety purposes. Right to be informed means something which is always needed to be informed to the consumer before taking it out to the market. Right to choose, so they should be given proper right to choose whether they are going to accept those things or not. Right to heard, so right to be heard means that whether I have heard of that thing or not, whether any kind of products or anything I have heard or not. Suppose I haven't heard of that thing, but suddenly I am seeing these things in the market, so this is also under this act. Two additional are the right to redressal and right to education. So these redressal and education, both of things are given to this under this act. Now let's see what is this act is all about. So in here, let us briefly examine what the 6 rights under the Consumer Protection Act cover. So right to safety, this refers to the right to be protected against hazardous effect that may be caused to the health or life of a consumer. This right specifies that the consumer has the right to be protected against products, production processes and services which are hazardous to health or life. So this right says that the consumer has the right to be protected from these products which are not genuine, which are hazardous to the health or life. And second one is the right to be informed. That is, this means the right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard and price of goods and services so as to protect the consumers against unfair trade practices. In order to protect from these unfair trade practices, this right is given. Now number 3 is right to choose. This implies that every buyer has the right to have access to products of varying quality and quantities, prices, size and design at competitive prices, and to choose according to his needs and wants. So the right to choose, according the consumer has been given this right to choose according to his needs and wants. Okay, they should not be forced. So now number 4 is right to be heard. This right to be heard means that consumers' interest will receive due consideration at appropriate forums. It also includes the right to be represented in various forums that are working to ensure consumer welfare. To enable consumers to exercise this right, both the state and voluntary agencies are expected to provide such forums. So this forum is arranged by the state and different voluntary agencies, and they hear that what the consumers interest about these things are all about. Okay, so it also includes the right to be represented in various forums that are working to ensure consumer welfare. So in order to ensure the consumer welfare, this right to be heard is to be introduced. Now number 5 is right to seek redressal. Every consumer has the right to seek redressal under unfair trade practices or unscrupulous exploitations. It also includes the right to fair settlement of genuine grievances. It involves the right to receive compensation for faulty goods and services. So if any kind of faulty goods and services are to be provided to the consumer, so they have got that right to seek the redressal, because the government this unfair trade practices or unscrupulous exploitation is to be taken. This is very illegal for any kind of companies or any manufacturer. So the consumers have got this right because they to receive the compensation for faulty goods and the services. Number 6 is right to consumer education. This refers to every person's right to acquire knowledge and skill to be an informed consumer, so that he or she will be able to make wise decision while purchasing goods and hiring services. This right implies that the consumer should be educated enough to be able to solve the problem himself. So this is the education given to the consumer, so that they can make the wise decision while purchasing any kind of goods and services, and they could be able to solve the problem themselves only. So this is the consumer right to consumer education. So these are the 6 acts or 6 rights which is there in the Consumer Protection Act. So go through this, and we are going to continue with this chapter in Zoom class or maybe through this awesome videos. So thank you.